Oh, that's weird. It's on here, but it's not on there. Why not, Earl?
I don't know.
Well, we're getting closer.
So we're signing off on these payables are for the electric
It's for everything.
and the water. I mean, the sewer,
Electric.
not the water.
Electric, water, sewer.
Not to cause a problem, but why do we sign off on the water? We don't control the water.
Yeah, we do. We don't control the sewer.
Oh, the sewer. So sewer's not on here.
I don't know if sewer's on there or not. We might see those numbers because
I'm just curious. I don't know the legalities of, you know what I mean? Because I know that the board, they sign their own just like that.
actually, when you go through that sheet, it tells you what's on there. I don't know if there was any sewer on there or not. I really don't remember seeing sewer, so it may not be on there.
I mean,
The reason it would be on there is because we have bills that we pay for sewer. For instance, salaries,
Okay.
some other stuff.
We see the I'm just asking the question,
That's fine. Okay. I'm going to get this show on the road here in just a second. So, y'all know I lost my phone.
You ready for me to go there or no?
Just a second.
Okay.
Y'all know I lost my phone, and so I got a new phone now. But as soon as I got my phone, my laptop screen quit working. And I went over to Apple Store a couple of days ago to see if I could get it fixed. I'm here to tell you, if you're taking something to Apple to get it fixed, make an appointment. I got there, their day was booked. I have to go back next week.
Downtown or Castleton?
Well, it's at Keystone.
Keystone?
Yeah. So now I got to go back next Tuesday.
It looks more like a hotel lounge than it does a store.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice. And they did me okay on the phone, but all right, Earl. Drum roll. We don't need this going though. How do I get rid of that?
You're good to go.
I thought I had this thing all.
Ned's excited for his big day, but he's wondering, what if the thinking black throws me off my game?
There we go. Did that get rid of the sound?
No. I still hear
Where's the volume at?
Where are the cameras at?
Huh?
The out.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah.
There's no volume on here.
On the side?
It's got to be a volume. Where's the volume, Mary?
There's a recorder. Just shut it off.
There you go. So we are on here. We'll tell them we thought we were on TV. All right. Are we on, Earl?
Yes.
Okay. We'll open the meeting for the Thorntown Utility for August 15th. I got a few things to go over. The lawnmower. Have you done anything?
No.
Okay, that's good. So are you in love with the kind of mower you have now? Or,
Get some goodies.
hey,
This is a new project. These are some donuts.
I knew if we kept Earl around long enough, that family of his would come through.
So Edie here, this is the first time she made some homemade chocolate filled donuts.
Oh, wow.
And these are homemade cinnamon rolls, so there should be enough for everybody.
Cool.
And we have
From
everything.
scratch. This
Yeah,
is
from
Veronica,
scratch.
and that's Edith.
Hi.
Hi.
You guys
Thank-
know Max. This is Pat. with Pete.
I'm Eric.
That's
It's nice to
Smith.
meet you guys.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Thanks for dropping in.
Food.
Thank you. You didn't know that was coming, Earl?
I did.
Oh, okay. You acted surprised. Were you supposed to act surprised?
No. Wow, those look really good. And big.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm
what
gonna
I
hang out.
want.
We'll wait for a minute. Here you go.
I don't want, I'm passing on that. I'm not a chocolate guy.
Oh,
Those
these are-
But I will tear
Oh,
that
yeah,
up. Yeah, I'll tear that up, but I don't want one of those.
Thank you. That was really nice, Earl. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
That's completely Edie's idea. She came up with it and said, hey, let's do this. So,
Okay.
I'm seeing Earl asking for something here in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, now that he brought in donuts, I have raises on my agenda.
I was gonna ask
You didn't
about
plan that or anything, did you?
No idea what you're saying.
This will slow the meeting down a little bit, won't it? Oh, they're still warm. Okay,
Those are really good.
so back to the lawnmower thing. Are you just in love with the kind of lawnmower you have now, or are you open to looking at different mowers?
I'm open to looking at different mowers. I'm
Okay.
not positive how they picked that to begin with.
Okay, the only reason I'm bringing that up, my first thought was just go get whatever you want. If you like those mowers, get them. But since then, I've had some discussions with Grumpy, and he's got a friend. He's got a friend that sells Toros, and actually, no, he doesn't. He used to own a Toro business. He sold it, but he still has an inside connection. And he thinks he can get us a good deal on one, and maybe he can, maybe he can't. But during this conversation, we did find out that Toro, and I haven't talked to Howard yet, Toro's a dealer, and I'm thinking if we can find one in Lebanon, we don't have to go all the way to Crawfordsville to get it fixed. Now, having said that, Howard's not always the quickest at getting them back, but Toro has a plan for government entities, whatever it be, that they give a discount to government deals like the utilities. I haven't looked into it yet. I don't know what kind of a deal it is. We got Reiner out here that's local. I'm not sure what he sells, but he's close.
And they're pretty good. That's who I use.
Right. So I just thought it might be, even though we don't have to get bids, it might behoove us just to look around a little bit.
So the situation with the Kubota is one, but we'll need to consider is one, they have our other one down there already.
Right.
We're gonna use that as a partial way of maybe working out a deal. We accept this as a trade-in, even though we realize it needs work.
Where at?
It's down there, Boots, on 136, just east of.
Oh, it's from Booth? I didn't know where it was at.
And so that's just something to consider. Regardless, they have our old mower. Even if we go somewhere else, we're gonna figure out. And they might say no problem, we'll just take it. I don't know, but anyway, that's considered. Two, so Howard's gives us automatically a 20% discount regardless of Toro or not.
Okay.
Our steel stuff from there is 20%. I don't know if the Toro thing would be on top of that. If
Well, that might be it.
Furthermore, I like Howard. I always go to him. He had our pulse off for 2 months this summer. And all he ended up doing was adjusting a valve to put the oil on the chain itself. And now it's back down there again. And he is I even told him, I said, Howard, look, I like coming to you, man, but I can't have my stuff down here during the heat of the season for 2 months. I know we've been super busy. I go, it's great for you, but that's not for us, man. I gotta have my stuff back.
And I understand, I know that.
So,
And that's part of the deal. That's,
yeah. But I'm just saying there's some things that I'm not in love with Boost, North Dakota, they do a good job for us down there. It's really only about a 30-minute drive at most to go to Darlington, cut straight down.
Okay.
It's right behind that, you cross 74, you know that, you even know where it's at?
I used to go to Booth, but it's not a crowded part of town. With Lebanon growing, you're hauling.
It's very
It's easy to get there. I mean,
And,
it's awesome.
okay, and that's fine.
But anyway, I'm just telling you.
I'm not
I know
trying to,
I know what you're saying.
I'm not trying to,
Yeah,
I really honestly don't care.
yeah. Well,
But
I don't want to drag it out any longer either. Shoot, that thing's been down there for over a month now.
yeah, and we're gonna talk about it at the meeting Monday night, and then we're gonna buy one.
Let's see if they'll buy one.
Well, I don't think they're going to. I've already had that discussion.
I think you should contact Reiner though. Their service is good and they'll come and get things. And they're really close, you know, but it's up to you guys. They sell, I think Dixon's.
Yeah, well, if we have a good relationship up there, if they give us a good enough deal, it wouldn't hurt to at least check with Reiner maybe,
Well, we can check with Booz, Howard's, and Reiner's and see what the.
just to make sure we're not overpaying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's the right, smart thing to do.
yeah.
I mean, that's normal business.
And do you have it worked out with Corinne on how this is even gonna take place? Because she was putting up a roadblock and you were talking about working out a deal. where
Well,
potentially we
Did
go
you
in.
tell her the engine blew on the other mower? She didn't act like she knew that. When I told her that, she was like,
No big deal.
yeah, we gotta buy a mower.
I can't remember if I told her.
I think she thought we were just adding one. Maybe you told her, she forgot. Maybe you didn't tell her. I don't know. At any rate, I haven't forgot your mower. I have been talking to people and we're working on it. I know the wheels move kind of slow sometimes, but hopefully after Monday we can get this done. And I think after we have the discussion Monday, we'll just turn it over to you. Check the prices. If you want to talk to me or somebody after you get them because you're not sure, that's fine. But if it's close and you like Booth, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, the mowers have been good, right? They've lasted. Okay, so that's really all I had on that. Water rate increase. I looked up, I know we talked about this, but I don't think we ever really said we were going to ask the town board to do it.
Would you say there was like 5 or 6%?
Well, that's the information I looked up. I had it on my laptop because I copied all this on there, but I think we had a 3-year plan that we could raise the rate 40%. We had a 5-year plan we could raise it 50%. We had a 7-year plan that we could raise it 62%. And we went 50, so we have 12% left. We can raise it any amount we want up to 12%. We can't go.
What's the average of the bill? I don't even know, 65, 60?
I don't know. I can tell you what mine is, but
Yeah, Mars runs like 60, 65.
really, what, you watering the lawn or what?
I have a pool.
Oh, mine's like less than 30.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So 12% increase on $30, $3.
that's what I was getting.
Yeah,
at.
average.
65.
Average is not, mine's not average. Mine's low, but even if it's 60, it's $6.
What if we did like our own deal? How long do we have to spend that 12%? No, I mean, you said you could do so much.
Well, that's a 7-year plan, but we're going to have a new rate increase that's going to come with that water plant. So we're not going to make it to 7 years.
So when's that gonna be?
I don't know.
Well, the only reason I say that is because if it's gonna be a year from now or 2 years from now?
It ain't going to be 2 years from now.
Okay, so what I'm getting at is if we increase it now, that'll make it less when we do the water plant, right? That, if we added a little bit now, that would make it a little less, we would have to charge,
You would assume.
you know what I
You're
mean?
trying to stair step it, right?
A little bit, anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so if you did 12%, if you just did the whole thing, that's just not that much. I mean, that's a half a pack of, quarter pack of cigarettes, or a third of a can of Skoal. I mean, to be honest, just being honest, a banana. I hate to say that, but you know, shit's so expensive now.
Carton of eggs.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you want to
But
get,
honestly, that's what it comes down to, is someone's not going to be able, the other side of it is someone's not going to be able to purchase the carton of eggs or Skoal to get through the day, you know?
I bet you if you added 12% right now, you would get under a handful of calls.
Almost had a lawsuit,
I know,
girl.
wow.
I mean, the water account is broke.
It is broke.
So the two philosophies, right, is you wait till you have a catastrophic failure and then you run around getting loans and, you know, you have to buy it, right? And it's unplanned, everything will be more expensive. Or you plan out and get some money back so you can continue to maintain the system. I would think that it'd be better to have planned shutdowns, planned maintenance versus, oh shit, the water main broke or failed, we have no idea what happened, right? So to me, it makes more sense to stretch out that money that would be in a case where we don't do anything and then have a major issue, and then for maintenance and what happened.
Yeah, we're spending money right now that we're paying the engineers a monthly fee because we don't have the money to pay them what we owe them. Now, having said that, I think this might be next thing on my list here. Oh, come on. Don't do that to me. Here we go. The contract with Arbor has been signed by the town. Our lawyer has that. I don't know if she's gotten with Arbor's lawyer yet or not. I would think she would have. Once they sign it, Arbor owes us a ton of money, and it goes into the water. Well, I say a ton of money, a couple hundred.
Relatively speaking to our budget.
Compared to,
that's
yes.
Yeah.
Compared to the town budget,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Now, that money is supposed to be used for the new plant, which some of these bills we're getting are for the new plant. So once they pay us, they're supposed to pay us $200,000, which is for the electric line, but it's a donation to the water. That's due as soon as they sign that contract. They're supposed to pay a quarterly payment for their impact fees, which is $4,000 a house. I think the monthly or the quarterly payment is somewhere 163,000 or something. One of those is already past due, and it hasn't been paid because of contract. So as soon as they sign the contract, they owe us that. That's all going into the water. So we'll have cash there once they do that,
But it's committed.
but it's committed. I don't know if it's actually committed, but
No, it's not.
But
not
it's-
actually.
but obviously this is all being done to pay down on the water. It should be committed as far as we're concerned,
In our
but as
mind.
far as
In our
legally,
minds, but you can't commit that. not
Yeah.
Really.
as
But
far
in our
as,
minds, we know that's what it is.
So from
Yeah.
a town perspective, if I'm in town, I know the town's getting money, and then the rates go up too.
right.
I could see and then the big explanation goes, well.
You know what, but it's all just factual. I'm just saying, I think you just go ahead and, personally, I think you do the 12%. I mean, it's not that much, really. How many homes are there, and how many houses do we have in here?
Just shy of 800 accounts. Of those, about a little over 600 are residential.
Okay, so 600. Let's say the average is, I pay 60, you pay 30. Let's say 40, just call it around about 40. Right? I'm just saying.
Sounds good.
So,
Hopefully that's probably a little low, but that's okay.
Yeah. So we got, so $40 times 600. No, that ain't right. It is.
4,000,
No, it's
2,400. What is it?
40 times 600, right? That's $24,000.
A month.
So 600 times, so 12% of that would be.
And you said that's 600 is residential? So there's another 100.
A little shot, less than 200 business accounts.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be somewhere in the neighborhood between, I'm gonna say $2,700 and $3,100 a month. Right, so let's say 25, just to be on the low end. Okay, so
Wait a minute. 2,800 or 28,000? What do you say?
2,800,
A month?
yeah,
Okay.
increase if you raised it times 12 months. $33,600 we would be banking on that 12% approximately. I mean, that's a pretty good start on.
And that's
the
not
maintenance and all
that's
that.
not counting what Stuckey's using.
No,
And
no.
yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, and here's, there's a, I feel bad. I told you guys, I'm on the business side when it comes to what happened. That's the bad side. The other side of it is though, if, they also need to accept the fact that they're in business and they use a lot more of everything and they're gonna pay more. It's kind of hard for them to bitch about a 12% raise or whatever cost increase versus, what they're getting.
Yeah, but it's just not the singular cost of water. Everything's going up in price. Their
Right.
inputs and everything, so costs are going to go up. It's not just the water,
Yeah,
You
but-
try to fight for it, but I don't know how you can.
I'm just saying, we
'Cause our
have,
costs have gone up.
our job is to protect the services that we are currently at the best of our ability at the lowest price we can, right?
a gallon
If
of
you have more
water.
money, you gotta get money. I mean, we gotta be able to pay for our service and the work and the equipment. I
A
mean,
gallon of water right now costs less than a penny.
a gallon.
It's
Yeah.
like 0.8,
It's
Almost
0.7
9.
something.
almost 9 cents. Not 0.9 cents.
So I'm just saying, well, you know what? Like me, maybe when I take a dump, I should take 3, then flush.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Maybe I'm the one that's wrong here. I don't want to say, I live in this town too, just like you guys do. But at
Well,
the
we know
same
we're
time-
low. We know we're low because we tried to they've looked into some loans that we can't get because we don't charge enough for
Yeah.
our water.
It's always been that
Well,
way.
I think that's right there's a proof of foot.
Yeah.
It's always been that way on all. I remember our utilities was all so low, all of it was, that we were catching hell all the time for that. At one time, when I was on the board, we were the 4th lowest rate in the state. And I bet you we're still way down. And I'm not saying catch up with Indy or anybody or whoever, wherever. I'm just
Well,
saying
our
that-
job is to keep the utilities as low as we can, but we have to be able to pay our bills
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and update equipment.
So I'm saying even if it's just a year of that, that's $33,000 is pays for some equipment, or
Or pay some engineers.
yeah, whatever it takes to get us right.
Yeah.
Because once you get right and you get all your crap paid for, your increases aren't necessarily going to need.
Are you
come.
trying to convince me?
I am.
Because I'm already convinced.
I'm talking like there's a boatload of people out there. I'm trying to convince them.
You're thinking out loud. I get it. I understand. I like hearing the logic there. I mean, it's just it's math. Money in, money
Yeah.
out, more money out. Got to bring more money in.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but everything's more expensive. So
Okay, somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to increase water rates by 12%.
I second that.
Let's,
You want to take
before we do that,
Okay.
I want to reword that a little bit because I got to make sure up to 12%.
confirming that value?
Yeah, I think my numbers are right, but I got to look back in the minutes to make sure 50% was what we raised. I'm not going to
All right,
change.
so let's wait till you get the final value.
Yeah.
No, let's do it. I'll go the maximum.
Okay.
There you go. That's
Okay,
your,
just say that then.
yeah.
All right,
Make
I make
that-
a motion that we increase to the maximum level allowed by the previous pricing schedule
There you go.
That we estimate at this time
to be
12%.
estimated
Right.
this time to be 12%.
Because I hate to have you look back and it be 50 again or something.
Yeah.
You know, I second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I'll bring that up at the next board meeting. Not sure what we have to do. I think we just have to tell them to make an
Make a recommendation.
ordinance. We're recommending to change the ordinance on the water.
Well, and that'll even increase, I mean, they probably won't have any houses done out there before we do
Before the rate increase goes in? No.
before we do the well. The new
Oh,
well.
yeah.
They will have?
They'll have the whole first phase done before
Oh,
we do the
then
well.
that should increase that amount of money.
Exactly.
I mean, that's only, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Okay. Hoo-wee.
Was that my fault?
No. Not
A
your
lot of things
fault.
are my fault.
It's good. We need to be able to say we discussed this at length and thought about it. We didn't just willy-nilly raise the rates because we thought it'd be fun.
This has been talked about for a long time,
It has, actually.
All right.
but we had to wait. Yeah.
I didn't go to a board meeting the last time.
I was there.
Were you there? So you know about the $1,400 in lieu of property tax that they want to raise. Did you take a nap in the middle of the?
No, I was awake the whole time. I did not hear that.
Well, maybe this was at one of their private meetings. I thought he said it was at the board meeting the other night.
I was at
Yeah, he
8:04.
never mentioned that in the town council meeting.
They didn't?
Okay, thanks. I thought I was maybe on track.
Well, it came up in some meeting and they wanted to double it. And Grumpy said, I'm not doing, and they wanted to vote on it at whatever meeting it was. So I don't know. Anyway, he's like, no, we're not voting on that until I talk to Max, which good for him. So what this is utility companies do not pay property tax. But a lot of communities, including Thorntown, nobody knows when this started, how long, it's been years ago. We started paying $1,400 a year to the town
A month?
a year,
Oh, only 14? Okay.
$1,400 a year. Matter of fact, it's on there. It's a couple of $100 a month. So, it's been that for farther back than anybody can remember when it was done. It's been $1,400. So they wanted to double it to $2,800. And I said, well, wait a minute. I'm not opposed. Well, first of all, when it was brought to me, it was $1,400 and they didn't know what it was for. They didn't know why they were getting it. They didn't know where it was coming from, but they wanted to double it. And I'm like, I'm putting the brakes on that because before I give you more money for that, I want to know what it is and where it's coming from. If it's coming from the water department, the answer is no. I can't stop it. They can do whatever they want to do, but I can let them know our opinion. Well, we finally got down to what it was, and I'm like, well, okay, that makes a little more sense. But I said, we just did a thing to assess what the utilities is worth. They just did all that. So to do this the right way, we should get that number. What is our property value? We should run it through all the things that everybody else gets their property tax run through. And whatever we owe, that should be the number. It might be more than double, or it might be less than double, but it shouldn't be just a willy-nilly,
No,
we want to double it just for kicks.
what does it go to, is my question.
Goes to the general fund in Thorntown.
See, to me, that makes no sense.
And their budget is in shambles.
They're trying to displace the budget shortfall.
Yeah.
With internal money.
Yeah,
No, not internal money, but from the
it
utility.
is internal money. It's, yeah.
Shocking.
They want to rob Peter to pay Paul. I mean, basically.
Well, it's, like I said, this is not an uncommon thing. They get their property tax. We don't pay property tax, and it doesn't come back around like yours and mine. So they get it directly from us.
Right.
Now, I could argue, and my argument would, I can't back it with any facts because I don't know exactly how this works. But my thing is, if the county doesn't charge us property tax, that's because they're trying to help the utility companies and all these companies so that they don't have to pay that, and it's more money in their pocket. So then the town comes along and says, well, we're going to take it through the back door anyway. So
That's not a tax, that's a fee. Because doesn't property tax first go through the state and then come back? Like when you pay your property tax.
it goes somewhere,
it goes to
state
the
or county.
state, And then the state.
Some of it goes to county.
Well, I think it all goes to the state though, doesn't it? And then they turn around
Could be.
and issue it back. So does that money go to the state as a property tax? And then it gets issued back in a finger manner? Or is this some side deal where it just goes right back to us?
It's a side deal where it goes
So
right
it's
back
not
to.
tax, it's a fee.
It is tax because it's based on property tax. I mean, you can call it a fee, you can call it a tax, you can call it a bribe. I don't know, you can call it whatever you
That's
want,
kind of what it is.
but it's property taxes. So it's a tax. But it's paid directly to the town.
Yeah, that's not a tax. That's a fee.
You call it
Okay,
whatever you want.
I know, I don't argue this or that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's the same, whatever you
I
call
don't
it.
want to get it.
It's based on property taxes.
If their budget's all in shambles, that's their fault.
I shouldn't say shambles. They're running, it's not exactly their fault.
It's hard.
It's
The
not
property taxes were decreased this year.
by the governor.
The payment to Thorntown was less this year than it was last year.
Right, that's another whole,
Right. We're not going to
That's
get into
not-
that because that's not our problem.
uh-uh.
But they've cut their budget. They found some things that they didn't even know why they were there. And they've cut a lot out of their budget, but they're right on the borderline, and their accountant says you need to come up with a little bit more money, and this is it. So,
So
and I don't really have a big issue with this. I'm not like fired up that they're taking our money.
No, they can take what they want anyway.
They can take it if they want
Isn't the issue,
anyway.
though, that, so just correct me if I'm wrong, so the property taxes got cut and the idea was that local municipalities would have to incur a tax if they need more money, a local tax. So the idea is that communities that require more money will pay more money via local tax. But the property tax on the state level, has been cut, but it's just shifting who's charging the money.
Right. The money has to come from somewhere. They're
Right.
going to get it somewhere.
So then it comes from, instead of a bill coming from the state, it comes from
I don't like property taxes. And I
well, we can't control that. So
definitely don't like how they go up, but I also understand it's going to come from somewhere. I just think there's a way to spread it out in a more fair way than
I
property
think that was
taxes.
maybe the intent was,
And that's
if
what
your
they did.
Community needs more money, then your community will have to charge more money.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not, I don't know all the details there.
Yeah, I don't know all the details either, but I know the governor.
But
Cut
at the end
something
of the
out of
day, the town has a shortfall. And
Right.
this is a Hail Mary to close the shortfall.
And I told him, I said, you can take all the money you want to take out of the utilities. It's your prerogative. But just remember, you take our money, it's a rate increase. We got to get the money somewhere.
So
It's gotta come from
So
somewhere.
the comical part though is we voted to rate increase and you get an additional increase on taxes, right? So a large portion of the rate increase is going to go to offset the additional $1,400 increase in the towns.
And we don't know.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's all a shell game.
It's just a sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, a show game, that's all it really is.
Yeah,
But, I mean, regardless, the increased expenses we're talking about, whether it be increased town fees, property tax, widgets, everything's gone up. So that's why you have to increase to pay for the additional costs. So it's not, yeah.
It's one of those,
Okay.
it's a hidden fee. I mean,
Well, it's not hidden.
well, not from us.
In our mind, we may just allocate it. Well, that increases to cover that, but really it's just a big pot. And we're just
If
looking
it's
at-
going in their general fund, it's not like it has a purpose. I mean, it's just,
right. They can use it for whatever they want.
yeah, it's just,
And I,
So if we
like I
go through
said,
what you had suggested as far as evaluating it through the typical ways properties evaluated for tax value versus just saying that, well, if we do that, then to me it's property tax. If we just increase it to $2,800, then that's a fee.
yeah, I mean,
Without rhyme or reason, right?
what really
It's a fee.
needs to happen is they need to go through and figure out what we owe them. We need to pay it. And then they need to keep track of it every couple of years instead of waiting 30 years and double it. I mean, they need to charge us what we owe them every year, and it should go up and down
not what
depending
we
on
owe
the
them,
tax
it's
rate.
what they want, really. I mean,
Yeah,
I know it's just not a tax. You just gotta figure out some kind of form of way that they can figure out how much they want.
okay, we beat that to death. We're gonna pay it whatever they do, but I'm gonna bring up the fact that I think it should be based on a number and be whatever that number is, and you should keep up with it instead of, I mean, if you keep up with it, you'll have more money.
I hate the property tax thing, using that as a basis, and here's why.
Well, that's what it's for. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, it's not.
It's in lieu of property
Yeah,
taxes.
but I'm just saying, here's the thing about property tax now. They, just real quick, I'm just gonna say it because this is how I feel. They capped Indiana's tax. Oh, we're conservatives, you're at 1%. Well, but then they changed how often they assess your property.
Right, they just
Used to be every
assess your
10
property.
years.
Exactly.
Now they freaking do it every year. And that number is a variable now because of the way they operate. So you're saying you want to, 1 year, have you ever noticed 1 year your property tax will go up a bunch and they'll change it? Well, now, a patio made out of wood is now being charged. They change all that all the time.
Right.
I mean, that number changes so much. I mean, can't there be another way to just say, we want to charge this much of a fee? Because it's a fee. It's not a tax. I'm being
Well,
honest.
I
here.
disagree, but that's okay. We can disagree and move on.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, if you want to go by that property tax thing, that number is just going to change all the time.
It is. You're right. It is.
Is the amount Dave first threw out there, which was 13,000 for the year, was that just a mistake on his part?
It's 13,900 and something. And they said 1,300.
He told me 13,000. Maybe, like I'm saying, maybe that was a mistake on his part.
Well, that's a totally different animal there.
Because why would they be fighting about $1,400?
That's what I'm thinking. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That amount is so
So
low.
the conversation I had with him revolved around $13,000. That's why I asked you, was it
So it's
$1,400 a month?
Oh, so you're saying that going from 14 or 13 to 28.
My understanding of the conversation was
Which
it's
is a mower.
13,000 a year, and they wanted 26,000 a year, not 2,800. That's why I said, you mean a month?
I get my numbers mixed up
I think maybe, I don't know.
because I thought it was,
Huge different ballgame though.
that is a huge difference.
Yeah, they just want to willy-nilly double it.
Well, it's not a willy-nilly. They know why they need to double it. They're budget short.
I'm going to find
They're
out.
looking at everything increase, to close that shortfall. And it's,
Well, you know how we used to do that? We had a budget problem when I was on the board. We actually borrowed the money from the utilities. We borrowed it. And on the accounting, and then when the budget become better through the state, they got paid back. That's a lot of money to come out of our end. Like, where are you taking that from? The water, the electric?
the electric's is the most solvent.
I got an important question for you. Yeah, that money that's in lieu of taxes. You know what I'm talking about? The money you want to double that we give you. Okay, how much was it a year? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. You can go back to bed now. That's all I needed to know. I got some numbers mixed up.
Thanks, Earl.
Yeah.
We're working on it. I'll let you know. We're in the middle of a meeting. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, you were supposed to be here and then I wouldn't have had to call you. All right. Bye.
Is that grumpy?
Sorry about that. 14,000. They want, he said, I didn't say I wanted to double it. So I don't know that they want to double it, but yeah, we're paying 14,000 now.
We can't take that out of water.
Won't come out of water. It'll come out of everything. Some of it will be out of water. Some of it will be out of electric.
We just made a 12% increase.
And we just spent it.
Yeah, and it could go to the park board. I mean, literally.
Right, but again, the town, it's the
It's
town.
their money, I
the town-
understand
No,
that.
I'm saying the town is trying to close a gap because of the reduction from property taxes. It comes down to the community's is bearing the burden of the cut in property taxes. And it's, however it gets paid for is basically what it's coming down to. And so if either we come up with the 14 grand or I don't know what the town does, how do they close the gap?
Well, they're already getting the 14 grand. So that's not, it's how much they increase it. And I don't know, he said he didn't talk like he was wanting to double it, but some of them might be.
Well, we want to know we need to know what the number is then.
Right, yeah, we don't have a number.
So it could be it could be double, it could be less than, okay.
Yeah. And the bottom line is, doesn't matter what we want to do
No.
anyway. If they want to take
No.
it, they're going to take it. But,
Yeah, but I want them to be responsible for it, not us.
well, that's one of the things I'm going to say. If you raise this, $14,000, if you raise it that much, we're putting in for a rate increase right now to try to make up for our shortfall, and you just took it. So we need another rate increase. If you're going to take 14,000, we're going to have another 10% rate increase. But we can't do that until we get a rate study. And a rate study costs another $6,000. And we're doing a rate study right now because of the new plant we're building. So yeah, it's, and that's where I'm going to put it to him. You guys can do whatever you want, but just don't think that there's not any consequences down the line, because there are consequences to whatever you do.
Yeah.
you got a budget shortfall and you're taking it from us. So now we got a budget shortfall. And that means increased rates. And that means everybody in town has a budget shortfall.
Well, it's a trickle down effect.
And it's on you, not us.
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Up to that
it's on, it
point.
goes, I hear what you're saying, but it goes back to the state. It's,
Right.
The town experienced a cut in funding, and they're trying to cover it, trying to recover. And we're the town, we have to help recover.
Right.
This wasn't something that they did a bad deal. This wasn't something where they did something stupid. They're not getting in as much money as they used to. So
Well,
it just changed.
but it's always been that way. I mean, I was on there for 8 years. The state, they dictate. Problem is, if you don't spend what they give you the following year, they give you less. But sometimes you'll spend it all, and then they'll say, hey, we have a shortfall on what we brought in. And then they'll short you. Next thing you know, that when I was on the board, it incrementally kept coming down, how much they were giving us a year, because we had got our finances in order. And when we did, they just started giving us less.
Okay. There's really nothing to vote on there. I'm just bringing that up. I'll be discussing that Monday night's meeting.
Sounds good, sir.
I have a meeting Monday afternoon that you guys, I assume, can come to if you want. I'm meeting with Amy, and I can't remember the other lawyer's name, but it's a lawyer in Amy's office that I'm looking at retaining in place of the one we have. Now,
So
I
you're
don't,
basically interviewing them.
basically, yeah. It's going both ways. We're actually discussing, there could be some problems. So here's what I'm doing. We need a new lawyer. I think we've agreed on that. Okay. We need a lawyer now because of this water thing. I don't know what's going to happen there, but we don't want to get caught with our pants down and not have a lawyer. I don't even know what's going on. I haven't heard anything lately, so I didn't put that on here. So I asked Amy if she could do our bidding through till we get through this water deal, and then we would go find a lawyer. And she said there could be a conflict of interest if she's our lawyer. And I said, yeah, but the town carries the insurance. We don't have any insurance of our own, so they carry the insurance. So you're basically going to be dealing with them unless there's a lawsuit, and then we're really all going to be in it together.
Yeah, it's all the same.
So she said, well, we have two people in our office that are lawyers, this kind of lawyers, utility lawyers. And I can hook you up with one of those. And she said that if you hire one of them, there could be a conflict of interest down the road if the town board would ever get in a conflict with the utility board, which, yeah, it could happen. So what I said to her was, look, I need a lawyer like now. You understand that? She's like, yeah. So I said, if this is okay with your people, we'd like to get a lawyer ready. If something comes up with this water thing, that we need a lawyer so that we have one. Once we get through this, if you guys are worried about the conflict of interest and we agree that it's not a good idea, we'll go get another lawyer from another firm. But I don't have time to go shopping right now. I need a lawyer. So that's why we're meeting, is to discuss all that, what they want to do, what we want to do. You guys are welcome to come if you want.
What time's your meeting?
1:30.
I'll
I
be out.
barely have time to get out of the
I'll
house.
be out of town.
Yeah, you don't really need to be there.
I trust your judgment. Max,
Yeah,
you've been doing
you're
this for a minute. You know what's going on.
probably,
You've already highlighted the issues. If we have, if we
probably
have to do
what
that.
I'm gonna do,
Procedure.
unless they say something really strange, is what I just said. We definitely want to hire you now.
I thought that there was something like a wall, and not a real wall, an intellectual wall that you put up. If you're both working in the office on opposing sides, you can't
Yeah.
talk to one another.
Clutter, something Clutter is his name. I think he's been our lawyer before.
I think he did.
He might have been the
do
town
Lebanon.
lawyer.
I think he used to do Lebanon, didn't he?
Oh, I'm sure he's done a lot of.
Yeah, I think he
yeah.
was Lebanon's attorney, then maybe the county.
Yeah, so anyway,
Some of the plan.
that's my plan, is to at least hire him for this. And if
You
they,
want someone on retainer, you know that there's a little risk there,
yeah.
and let it run, and then give us time to find the other one if we decide we can't.
And
do it.
if they sit there and say,
Not a good idea.
no, well, if they sit there and say it's not a problem, I don't really have a problem with doing this full time. I mean, if it doesn't work, we can always change lawyers down the road, and we don't have to fire him. We can just say we're worried about it.
Well, if we get in a problem down the road, we have to shop around.
Yeah,
But we'll see it coming. If we got in an argument with
yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, the only issue with that is if you have an attorney long term, they kind of know you got a relationship, a certain level of trust starts to get created. And
See-
then you go into a contentious situation with someone new, sounds like.
And my
Except that
thinking-
I'll just quit.
It just
My,
gets scary.
my thinking, not knowing anything about law, I mean, I understand the conflict of interest if we get into it with them, but aside from that, by having these two in the same office,
You're thinking of the positive side of
Yeah.
cooperation and how to solve
Exactly.
problems.
I think there is a positive side.
yeah,
It just depends on the personality of the lawyer, Max, and that's what you're going to have to assess.
yeah.
I mean, if Amy, I don't know her at all.
I wasn't
They
sure I
could be-
liked Amy to begin with, but I'm warming up to her. She's done some things for me that, I mean, not me personally, but
Yeah.
for us, that I'm starting
Created
to,
some trust.
yeah,
Well, that's
exactly,
the same. It goes down to the trust.
yeah.
So I guess you're going to have to assess if this.
I
assess
think,
it.
well, I'm not gonna say this till, I'll say something else after the meeting, but,
Okay. All right. Cool.
okay.
Sounds like a plan.
So that's the deal. Like I said, Grumpy's going and I'm going. I think
Oh, nice.
maybe Corinne's going. And that's
I
all.
thought she was quitting.
Well,
Retiring.
she's retiring.
Retiring. That's all right. Sorry.
The last word I got, and I know very little about this, but my understanding is she's going to stay on a little longer part-time. They came up with a part-time pay
That's
for
correct.
to help Allie get
Allie.
going.
Yes.
Yeah, part-time pay is from the extra fee they want to charge utilities.
They what?
For the extra fee they want to charge utilities.
So who's Ally?
She's replacing her.
She's a replacement.
Appointed person to fill in the rest of her
It's
term?
Al, she used to be Allie Keith. You know Joe
Oh,
Keith?
yeah, no, I know her.
Yeah.
She's real nice.
She's very smart too.
Huh?
She's
Oh,
very,
she's a genius.
she was valedictorian in her class.
She went to school with my daughter.
Sounds like you got a winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay.
People.
Got two more things and then I'm gonna be done. Anybody got a replacement for me yet? Because I'm going at the end of the year.
How do you go about? I don't know
I
what the
made the
process
decision.
is. That you just find
There's really no
someone?
process. Find a buddy and talk him into doing it. And I've been racking my head. I'm too old. I don't know the people.
Me neither. Don't count me out. Me neither. All the people I know are dead or on their way to being dead.
Earl, do you have any recommendations?
No, but I'll have to think about it.
They do not have to live in town. They have
do
to be
not?
they have to be on the Thorntown utilities.
Okay.
It used to be that they had to be in town.
So as long as you have an account under their name.
As long as you're on the electric or something. For instance, Jerry Williams, he wanted to be on years ago, couldn't be on because he didn't live in town.
But it's the utility.
But he has electric.
Yeah.
I think he has his own well out there. I'm not positive. Maybe, I don't know if he's on water or not. But anyway, As long as he's not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have water across the bridge.
Well, I didn't think so, but, so yeah, as long as you're on one of our utilities, you can be on the board.
I've actually been thinking about that. I can't come up.
I've
mean,
racked
what-
I've gone up and down streets trying, and I don't really know that many people anymore when I go up and down the streets.
What are we looking for for a new president, unless you're the president, so.
One of you two are gonna have to be president. You can't bring in a new guy and,
Look, my only problem is my wife right now, just have no time. I haven't even been working,
well, I'm not leaving till the end of the year.
We got some time, but
Yeah.
let me talk to my next door neighbor. He's a younger fella, very, he's a property manager, very, very nice family. His name's Forrest. I just, five boys, homeschooled. He's a conservative person. I can check with him,
I
Seems to
mean,
like the community,
Yeah.
if I think of people, I will
but he's a
let you
younger
know,
guy.
but you guys need to get somebody that you want to work with, somebody that,
So let's say we bring in 4 people. How do we go through the process of determining, just saying if you have 4 people want the position?
Let's meet with them.
Who makes that call that, yep, you're on?
we recommend to the town that we have somebody we want to appoint.
Got it.
And then I've never seen them say no, but they can say yay or nay to that person. If you bring somebody in that maybe they know something about that nobody else knows, they might.
And then the second thing is, there's no SOPs for these positions, standard operating procedures, a book, a manual about what your responsibilities are.
Not to my knowledge.
I'm basically asking for a job description.
I always thought we needed that, really.
There you go. Get to work on it. That'd be a good thing for next year.
Seriously, I've always thought we needed something like that.
Uh,
Because then you got something to refer to when you talk about how you're gonna operate things.
we have been, they would like us to do that for our employees. And I don't know if we have anything on the books as far as standard operating procedures. If we do, they need to be updated, and if we don't, they need to be created.
Got the employee handbook, but close thing you got.
Yeah,
You do have one of those?
Yeah.
Can I have a copy of one of them?
Kareem has them.
I'd like to get one of them. At
It's
least have that.
it's the town. It's not a utility one, it's a town one. The utility board's covered by it.
Hey, while we're talking about this, can I ask Earl?
No,
So-
you can't talk to Earl.
So what I'm getting at is, like IMPA. I'm assuming that IMPA has some sort of handbook also, right, electric wise. So, I mean, can we like get a copy of their handbook too? And
But
then
IMPA
you go through it and then maybe, I've been thinking about
I
it.
don't know that IMPA's handbook would be,
Well-
they're like an engineering contracting company versus a town.
Well,
business.
but
What do you
they
think?
would still have the same safety things. As an in general, we can look at it and say, hey, that's a good idea, why don't we implement? I'm just saying to
You're
build
wanting
our own.
examples.
Yeah,
Because the
examples.
safety would be on the lineman side. They would have their own, which would not be, so you've got your office employees and then you've got your field guys. They operate on a separate.
Right, but I'm just saying, I've been thinking about this because we kind of touched on it a while back. We need to develop our own kind of
I
SOP or.
think you should take charge of working on
I
that
might do
because
that because I'm at home.
I was gonna say, that'll give you something to do while you're sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing nothing. Yeah. When Pam goes to the shower, I take a shower. When she goes to the bathroom, I go to the
I was
bathroom.
gonna say, that sounds kind of, well, never mind.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I understand.
We are on a
Broken leg.
recording right now.
No, I know. Hey, she's injured. I'm not talking about anything crazy. Okay, I will work on that because I've been thinking about that.
Yeah,
You know, just,
I think that'd be good. They would definitely be happy if we would do that because that's been brought up.
SOPs are hard to write.
They
but,
are.
Yeah.
If you talk to any company, people chuckle about SOPs, but any company of value has SOPs.
I mean,
If
you have to run that by an attorney and all kinds of stuff, because you can't be saying things in there that are illegal or.
We're gonna have an attorney in a few
Well,
days.
SOPs wouldn't be an attorney thing. Employee handbook would.
Well, that's what I mean. It's kind of a.
Well, I can tell you right now, the employee handbook, and I didn't bring my copy. I saw it this morning, but the employee handbook tells you that, for instance, if you want to fire somebody, you have to give them a verbal warning, a written warning, and then you have to tell them why they're being fired. And then the last line, and this, I don't care what's in there, this is the last line, but you don't have to do any of this. You can just fire them for no reason if you want to.
Well, that falls back on Indiana law there.
But everything in there, vacation time. You have to do this to take a vacation. You have to do this, yada, yada, yada. But there'll be exceptions and you can do what, and it's like, everything has an exception at the end where you don't have to follow the rule if you don't want to.
Well, but an SOP, doesn't it work like this? So you're here and then you may have this and this, kind of a pyramid. Like who does this guy answer to them, or does he go straight here?
That's a hierarchy.
Yeah,
but
that's
I mean,
not
that's
SOP.
kind of what
SOP is a workflow chart. So if
Yeah, but that's.
if a customer complaint calls in, what's the first thing I do? You have a flow chart to walk through the person on the customer complaint. Then it's how's it get processed? All the steps is SOP.
That's what.
So it'd
that's
be
what
a
I'm
flow
getting-
chart.
Yeah, but I
What
mean,
you're just
The
is more of an
SOP is what-
organizational chart.
yeah, but if
The SOP is what you're supposed to do at work. You have to mow, you have to fix water leaks, you have to yada, yada, yada. This is what you're responsible for. And if it's outside of that, you're not responsible for it. But the last line is, you're responsible for anything else we tell you
Here, I
to
got
do.
a bunch of SOPs right here. SOP for record keeping, SOP for freezer basics. This is from my old business. But essentially, transfer those files. If you hire a new employee, you give them an SOP book, and SOP would be on how you turn on your computer. Could be as basic as that, or the instructions
Yeah.
that you've got written right there. That's an SOP.
so then I could probably work on stuff, but the point is, we would have to talk about how. I think this still has something to do with it, because ultimately someone has to be that.
Well, you can
person.
do that too, if you want to do that, but that's different than the SOP.
Yeah,
And to do an SOP, somebody's going to have to talk to Earl a lot.
right.
I
Correct.
mean, that's
Earl
a
has
lot
the
of those
SOP in
decisions
his
are
head.
his, what he
It's
wants
his,
his
yeah,
employees
it's
to
his.
That's
do.
correct.
And
He
then-
should be the one writing it in.
He should, because then when all those are exhausted, he comes.
See how we did that,
I
Earl?
saw that. Look over here, what we planted over here.
Thanks for the cinnamon rolls, Earl.
See what that got me.
He was trying to SOP you.
That's right.
There are SOP services. There's a lot of ways to do it. But at the end of the day, someone has to sit down who's intimate with the procedure, how they do things, has to write it down. And that unfortunately always goes back to whoever's doing it, as Earl's and your admin staff, guys out in the field. I do need to leave. I've got a meeting in India at 10. Can we
Okay.
wrap up?
We can wrap up. One more thing I have, and I've brought this up before, but we need to get on this pretty soon, is salary increases. I think the cost of living, the last time I saw what it was going to be, was 2.5%. What do you see, Earl?
No one in their right mind believes that cost of living is 2.5%. You can throw in my face any sort of government statistic. I'll point all of you into shadowstats.com. John Williams runs a site which he used 1980 configurations before they started manipulating and changing them. And I think that's more realistic. As we sit here and talk about the cost of everything, which is all we've really talked about.
Yep.
To come to me and say 2.5%.
I didn't say we're going to give
I
you
know,
2.5%
I'm
raise.
responding. You asked me what I thought.
That's
I'm
fine.
responding. So, I mean, next time I'll come to you guys with some things. I have a very good staff. I'm gonna consider what Sandy's gone through and still maintains her work the best she can. How Danielle has stepped up. I got a couple guys now who do pretty much anything and everything I ask of them, and I've asked a lot. So, and there'll be more, but I'm just saying that's where I'm gonna come from when we talk about this. I understand the circumstances we're under. I understand we're talking about budgets. I understand all that stuff. But one of the things that definitely happened in the past that we need to be honest with, just like we refused to raise rates every year go along, then all of a sudden we had to catch up, and then we're kind of cringing. The same thing happens how we pay everybody.
I'm for the worker, so it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I think 2.5%, you're saying that's nothing,
I'm gonna
really.
say that's not.
I agree, it's nothing. It's not. This year.
What is, I mean,
I
what's
don't know
reasonable?
yet, but let me come back to you guys next time we get together. We're not gonna make a decision today. Let me come back to you next time.
I mean, it's almost like you have to just ignore what everyone's getting paid, look at each position and see what the general average pay would be for each position that you'd see in this locale.
Well,
To be able to accumulate good data. Regardless, you know what I'm saying? But you could have a master electrician paying him $10 an hour and the guy's worth $100 an hour, but you got to get that hashed out.
I also like to see employees paid what they're worth. Having said that, and I'm not going to say I don't want to pay them what they're worth, a true raise, you should get, if you're doing your job, you should get a cost of living raise. I'm about that, whatever the cost of living we determine it is. Beyond that, if you don't know anything more today than you knew this time last year, are you worth more? Should you get a raise just because you come to work and do your job every day?
You're
But you-
talking merit
Partially,
raise.
yes.
And,
In today's world, yes. Just
above the
your-
cost of living?
Just your single point, because in today's world, to get someone to actually show up for a job on a repeated, regular basis is extremely hard. Ask everyone around, how come you can't hire anybody? No one will show up. Can't get them to stay. 3 weeks in, and next thing you know, they're taking days off. So just that one, I know I realize where you're going with your comment, but in today's world, sure do. Because consistency, dependability is worth something, regardless of whether they've expanded. Hopefully everyone has, but regardless, yes. Now, how much is just dependability worth more than the cost of living? I don't know, but I'm saying yes, it sure is. Why do we give them a 90-day probation period to prove that you're going to show up every day for 90 days? You pass that, that's your, wow, man, you're going to show up for work. Now you're on for good. Well, yeah, you've been here for a year. You show up all the time. We've had terrible issues with people in the past not showing up. Great, let's do something for you to show that we appreciate it. How much is that worth? I don't know. I'm saying, yeah, it is worth more.
Do we do 90-day raises or anything like that?
No,
But
we have a
that's-
90-day probation period.
But that's part of it. Showing up is part of it. But also just because, I mean, people come, I'm not pointing this at you, I'm talking in general. And I can only go back to my experience, but when I worked at Caterpillar, I had to prove every year that I knew something, I was going to be worth more next year than I was last year. And if I couldn't prove that, I didn't get a raise. I might get my cost of living or whatever. But the more I could prove to them my value beyond last year, the bigger my raise was between last year and this year.
The other end of it is, what's your value if you left and they have to struggle and find someone to replace you, and what's the cost of loss of revenue that they're going to experience because they just lost 20, 30 years of experience?
Everybody's replaceable.
Everyone is replaceable to a point.
Yeah.
It's still painful to replace. And then that person that did your job, what if the only one they can find was getting $20,000 more than you? Would you be upset?
You're saying work should be based on performance.
And we have that built in.
I don't.
We have that built in. When they pass tests, they get a raise. Every test they pass, there's some other things built in there, and we could do, we could do more. We could put more in there. if you only miss so many days of work this year, then that's 0.5% next year or whatever.
I'm more performance based even versus cost of living, because I think that when you say 2% or you say 3%, that's kind of, to me, it almost feels like a slap in the face. It's always been that way for me. When I work for other people, I'm thinking, because if you think about it, $1 an hour, and nowadays, that's really nothing. You know what I mean? $1, you think, when I give raises, I give 1 or 2 or 3. For example, my daughter just said she was gonna quit because she's pretty valuable in this new office she's in. I only gave her $5 an hour raise, I mean, how do we know what the value of our employees are, is my question.
You don't get to determine that, the market determines that.
Why does the market?
If
Because of the income?
we just lost a police officer to Lebanon because Lebanon pays more. That's just the market reality. So if Lebanon is paying $25 an hour for a maintenance tech, and we're paying $10 an hour for a
He's going to
tech,
go to Lebanon.
and there's an opening at Lebanon, and this guy's reliable, you tell me what he's going to do. So it doesn't matter what he knows, and none of that. It matters what he can get and if you can keep him. And if you
I
find
do agree with that.
if someone is reliable, shows up, loyal, does what Earl asked, and they've got a team that works well together, they just gel. That is worth so much money.
I totally agree with you.
We're saying the same. So
I do agree
it
with
does
that.
come down to market value in this area. Now, you can't compare a salary or pay here to California or New York. Very different. But we can compare pay in this locale to see what Lebanon.
And we did that not too long
I
ago.
mean, those the values are
We-
out there.
We raised
And I'm sure
pay.
Earl probably knows what Lebanon is paying.
I'll counter what you said with the fact that we as a board group need to recognize the fact that Thorntown is now in such a unique position, you can't compare us to any other. Show me the other community that has a brand new, fresh, never had before addition going in and demanding a new water plant. Show me a community that now is talking about how to put in a mechanized wastewater plant.
You're just saying
Or
your workload's increasing.
there's so many things
Yeah.
going on. You know how much I have to fool with those Oprah people and write stuff up for them constantly. We got this building going over here. I'm having to put new water lines in for. There's all sorts of stuff, regardless of how long he was here. Gary never had to go through. He never had to do these things. He flew by what Jack basically did because the town
Wasn't
very
growing.
little. Now we're going through such huge things.
That's even additional point.
So
I
we
agree
can
with that.
no longer compare Thorntown to all these little communities and reach out and say, well, how much you pay? Well, they're like we were 10 years ago, still just flying through like they have been for the past few years.
Yeah, but Lebanon is growing, and then Whitestown just went through the same process several years ago when there
I
was.
think Jamestown's
Ten-
going through some
And
of it too.
Jamestown is right on. I mean, there's these communities around.
I think they've
Evanston is
added-
growing.
They're
So
not-
we're competing for a labor pool.
True. And I'm not saying that you can't use us. I'm just saying you have to take it for the people already. We're so unique now.
And
This stage in our life
training.
anyway.
We're training people. That's always been the fear, and even in my business, you get someone you like and they work hard, you're training them, and then someone else notices, hey, they
Oh,
work
yeah.
hard, and then next thing you know,
It's a 5-year rule.
yeah.
After a kid gets out of college for 5 years, and you train them up at the 5-year point, that's when all the headhunters start. coming
I
after
know
you.
there are a lot of places that actually, not only do they hire them, they kind of sign contracts.
The comment I made was not to try to keep people from making more money.
No, I know.
That's not it at all.
Yeah.
We
But
also have a budget too.
we do have a budget, but also it's, and this kind of, and Earl, I don't know how you feel about this. I know you got 2 good guys down there.
You gotta go.
I'm with you 100%. Yeah, that's fine.
Eric Smith leaving the meeting.
We could,
See, Eric, next
we
time.
could end this meeting, actually.
Yeah. I'm good.
Anybody got anything else before we do?
Earl's probably got a few
I
things.
do have a few things.
Go ahead.
I'll touch on real quick. I did talk to Mike Adams. Remember, we're going to talk to him about potentially getting phone calls about the thing. He said the only person they ever heard from was Sherry. She called one time, they did not call her back, they haven't heard from her since.
Okay.
Other than that, they've heard nothing. Their position is just kind of like what you said, there's no negligence. They're letting the town handle however.
Right.
So nothing there. They've already reached out and contacted a company to come to Thorntown with one of their reps. The three of us will go around and inspect vegetation so that we can make some decent cutbacks from primaries. Remember, we talked about this before, but also I reiterated this to Mike. They and we do not come in your yard and cut back trees you want to grow into your secondary, your triplex. We're not going to do that. That's up to you.
Yep.
And the last thing with IMB anyway is they're preparing to come through the town and do an evaluation of our fuse orders, make sure we have them in the right order, and they'll identify the fuse and we'll have you at the bottom of the pole. That's part of it, just us being members of them. He hasn't told me when that'll occur, but they will come through town and plan that. We are talking about the lawnmower. I do think as we start talking about some of these things, our current tap fee for sewer and or water is $7.50 a piece. I think we need to consider raising that to $1,000 because it's just too much. There's the cost of hooking all this stuff up there. It's just too much anymore. $7.50 is nothing when we're talking about a tap fee. $1,000 really isn't anything if you're talking about a tap fee, but I think we need to consider that. So it's something to start to think about. And the other thing
Let's do something with that at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to bring up to you, Nashville, Indiana, and Carmel have both been under a boil order. And because of that, I did have some people look into it. And just as a reflection on the comments on their like town board, their sites and everything, all positive. What I mean by this is, and they were quoting them to me, Nashville, Indiana, which is almost nothing but businesses. And when they have a boil order, all the restaurants get shut down, have you? Well, we're going to be closed for now, but come visit us in a few days. Hopefully we'll be back up. Or, not this. Let's burn the town down. I thought that was kind of hilarious.
I'm glad you checked that because I knew Carmel. I didn't know about Nashville, but I knew Carmel.
Yeah.
My son sent me that, said, happens to rich people too.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I said, oh man, you don't know how bad I want to put that out there, but
Right. That's all I have.
okay.
Meeting closed? Yep.
Okay, with that business being finished, we will close the meeting.
Do you need to run them
Now I
somewhere?
forget.